So here we are for another Miracle Monday. And as per usual, we started our conversation a little bit earlier, and it might be obvious that my eyes are a bit red because Mom and I always have these amazing conversations. And I was sharing with her a decision that I made today um, to really focus on my health. And I started to cry. And so, I mean, I'm sure we can tie this to Miracle Mondays, but part of Miracle Mondays is that I just want to chat with you. But, I started to cry because it's a big deal for me. My weight, my body, like all of that has been like a really big, it's sort of one of my things. Anyways, and so Mom says, well, is there any reason why we wouldn't just clear the sadness now? And so we did. Instead of hopping on at our usual time to record this, Mom did a clearing. And do you want to say what the clearing is? Because when I say clearing, people aren't going to know what that means. I just realized. And hi, by the way.
Are you saying hi to me or to
I
everybody?
guess. Hi, formally on camera.
Hello. You mean what a clearing is? You want me to share what a clearing is or what we did or
Both, anything.
okay,
So your daughter came on and I ended up crying to you. And so what did you do and why?
okay. Well, I mean, again, based on what we both do in terms of wanting to help people, um, of course, my first response, if we're going to do clearing, which I'll explain in a moment, releasing negative emotions, releasing limiting beliefs that are really at a very deep unconscious level. If we're going to want to do it for other people, well, then we've got to do it for ourselves as well. And so, again, it just made sense. Why would I sit here and watch you cry and just let you go through that and then get on Miracle Monday? It just didn't make any sense. I thought we could maybe create a miracle first and then we could get on Miracle Monday.
And
Just
there's the segue, or there's the connection. Yeah.
yes, exactly. So yeah, so I mean, our unconscious mind, like we just have everything stored at such a deep level that we don't really know what's limiting us. So if we can take advantage and do these processes, so again, I feel very fortunate that I learned how to do the process that literally clears out negative emotions and limiting beliefs at the core, so that literally, as you know, when the work is done, it's done.
Mhm.
And if there's still a feeling there, then we still have work to do. So we just do it, but it's gone. And I don't think many people even realize that that's a possibility. And so the more we can share that, then I guess, again, for me, I mean, you know, 30 years of this, and I still
It's been
absolutely.
more than 30, by the way. Been
I
30 years for the last 5 or 10.
but it is like it's doesn't make any sense to have people feel bad when we know that they can release it and feel completely different. Like look at you right now.
Yeah.
And that took us, minutes, just minutes.
Yeah, it is really powerful. I mean, it really is powerful and it's sort of unexplainable. Again,
Mhm.
which if we're talking about miracles, like it is unexplainable how it can just shift and change how you're feeling. So one of the things
Permanently,
that,
I'm sorry to
yeah,
interrupt you, honey, but
yeah,
permanently. It's
mhm,
not just in that moment. And it's
yeah,
not just one situation. It's permanently
yeah.
released and gone. Sorry, I just wanted to
No,
say.
yeah. No, that's good. Where my brain was going is you and I were having this conversation, and then I just said, "Can I hit record?" Because you were about to say
Mm,
you knew that I was going to be impacted. So, I mean, the listeners don't really, most people won't know what clearing is. But that's where I said, let's hit record.
mhm.
Because life is just so incredible. Like it is so incredible what we sort of overcome, what we carry with us, what impacts us that we're aware of, that we're not aware of, like all of the things that when I look around the world, that you're driving beside somebody in a car, or you're walking past someone, or I told you I'm looking at all those people at the park, and it's like everybody has is a compilation of all of their experiences that they've had, right? So I don't know how to even like segue into you saying you knew, like how can the listeners, how can you share that, like what we did and that moment and how you knew and all of that. I mean, it's pretty cool because you're my helper, my healer, and you're my mom, so you happen to know what my life experiences have been.
Mhm.
um so how would you share that?
Well, I mean, at the time that you went back to, which you have gone back to for different things, was when I was pregnant with you. And that was a very sad time for me, not because I was pregnant, but because your dad decided that he thought it would be a good idea for us to have a separation. And I just didn't quite agree with that being
With Brad being 2.5 and me being in your belly
exactly.
growing. Yeah.
Exactly. So it was a really sad time for me. And I remember at one point thinking, because I was so sad, and again, this isn't because I had any knowledge. I wasn't into personal development. I wasn't into spiritual. It just came to me that, oh my gosh, my poor baby, I'm afraid and I didn't know it was a she, but my poor baby is going to come out crying and never want to stop. Like, isn't that terrible? I mean, but I just knew, even though I knew nothing logically, nothing intellectually, something in me knew that what was happening with me was affecting my baby. And yeah, so I don't know how I knew that. I just knew that. And now, of course, research shows that that's the case.
Hmm.
And that's why
Hmm.
now we read stories to our babies in the womb and we sing songs and we do all kinds of lovely things because we know that they're impacted. So again, it's kind of one of those things where it would be so great if we were really conscious as much as possible of what we say around other people. So this isn't just because somebody is pregnant and carrying a baby within them, but it's the same with anybody around us. It's our words affect other people, our emotions affect other people. So, you
We
know,
affect other people.
we
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
we really do. And a lot of people have a good intention of wanting to feel good and have people feel good around them and so on. But really, are we doing the personal work within ourselves? And when I say work, I don't mean hard work and I don't mean, I just mean sincerely, are we doing what we need to do to heal ourselves so that we can then be the person we want to be in the world and influence other people to be the best they can be as well?
Yeah. I mean, as you're talking, it's like I could be saying the very same thing, which just made me smile because it's like I was gonna say a mini you, but I'm not. I'm a
No,
there's
no.
just there's just a reality. Remember how we were talking about realities on our first chat this morning while I was walking? Um, anyways, it's yeah, I mean, it is why we want to do this work. And when I think about that experience that I obviously don't remember being in the womb, and I think of the first practitioner course that I took where we were practicing timeline, and
Right.
I was 21, I think, at the time. And I didn't know anything about anything. And I certainly wasn't in a place in my life where I was thinking about how I might have been impacted by being in the womb, like not at all at 21, right? And it's like all of my first clearings were I kept going back there, back there, back there. And I didn't understand at all, to the degree that I came up to you, and said, like, what happened at 6 months in the womb? Because I keep going there and it makes no sense to me, right? So, I mean, that's fascinating to me. And again, when you think of other people and the people that we want to serve, or whatever, however you want to word that, it's like everyone has a that, or lots
Mm,
of that, like lots of
mhm,
those moments that you might be aware of or you might be unaware of, that are impacting everything,
mhm.
like impacting everything.
And I totally agree. And I think that one thing that I feel I'd like to share around that as well is we don't need to know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. You don't know what it was. And it doesn't stop us from clearing it.
Yeah.
The more we feel we need to know what it is, we need to know why, we need to delve into it, we need to think about it and talk about it. The more we do that, the less likely we are to clear it, to release it, and to move forward. We don't need to know any of those things. We just need to unhook it. We need to separate the emotion and the belief from the experience. The experience happened,
And
but
we
we
can't
don't,
change that.
that's right. But we don't need to know what it was or why. And the minute we do that, we absolutely lock ourselves in to that situation. And for some people, they feel they need to know that. But if you really want to heal, you don't need to know it at all. As a matter of fact, it really holds you stuck. So,
Yeah, so I mean, this is another really amazing conversation to have that we may or may not have time to today, because I know we both have commitments in a while, but I'd like to remember this, so I'm going to say it. Like, this has been a big conversation, well, in my own mind, really.
mhm,
Uh yeah, because it's a bit controversial. It's a bit controversial because most people, I'll say most people, that's maybe fair, maybe not fair. Many people, let's just say many people, really feel the need to dig in, to sit in their feelings, to feel it, to uncover why, to peel open the onion, like all of these different things that we've been, taught we need to do in order to heal. And we just don't believe that that's the case. And I think I even told you in this last year, I tried that on because I had some friends who were who were, suggesting that maybe I needed to feel what was going on over this last year. And so I did. And I'll tell you, it didn't help me. I'll just say that it didn't help me thrive. So I'd love to have this conversation, maybe in our next one or in one of them, depending on where we're at. But I'd love to have this conversation with you because I think it's important. I'd like to have the courage to stand in, like, in my knowing, and be willing to sort of receive the, I was just going to say backlash, which is a really interesting way to describe it and not very positive, but that I feel like that's the truth, because I'm really present on social media and I do a lot of sharing. That's my way to sort of spread my light.
mhm,
And I'm a little nervous to stand firm in what I believe, because I know that it's not the norm and that
mhm.
people are gonna potentially fight that. So I'd love to have that conversation with you.
Okay, and I just want to say that's true what you just said. And there's also many, many people out there that just deeply know that this is
That's
possible.
right.
They
And
just
so
don't know how to do it. We
that's
have the how to do it.
that's right. And I am speaking to the people who know that, and the people who have another way of doing it. I actually also believe that it's the right way for them. So
Of
it's not
course.
that I think that what other people, that way of doing it is wrong at all. Um, at all. I think that, there's like everybody is drawn to different things for different reasons at different times. And so, um, I look forward to this conversation with you. I think it'll be a really, really good one. So for today,
Okay.
Miracle Monday.
Yes.
I don't know what miracle we shared, but
Well, I think
here
we
we are.
shared the miracle of you clearing something that was really deeply embedded that you didn't even know was there. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a miracle.
Mhm. You miracle worker.
You miracle worker.
Okay, I love you.
Okay, I love you too.
Thank you for another great conversation. See you next week.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.